Hello and welcome to Bead TV. Today we're making a great colourful project. It's called Coiled Delight. It was designed by a lady called Sue Simmons who runs the Bead Shed. It's a great project. It's nice and colourful, as I said. It's quick and easy to make, and you can vary it endlessly just by changing the beads that you use. Combines wire work, just with beads on head pins, with a bit of simple stringing. You'll be done in no time at all. So if you want to make it to wear this evening, it's a perfect project. Materials you're going to need around 100 head pins. And head pins are the short lengths of wire with a flat end, which will stop your bead falling off. Then you need about 100 beads. These can be 4 or 5mm beads, ovals, rice shapes, whatever you want. On this bracelet, Sue has used little round beads and then these larger oval beads. I'm just going to use some little round ones. One thing you need to be aware of, if your beads have got large holes, you might need to first thread on a little bead. See here, Sue has threaded on a seed bead, and I'll demonstrate that for you. This large bead I'm going to use here, if I was to thread that on, it would come straight off the end of my head pin. So what I would need to do is first thread on a smaller bead and then my larger bead. I've used quite a large small bead there, so you can get away with a much smaller one. In addition, you'll need a piece of stretch elastic, just enough to go around your wrist with a bit extra to tie the knot. And we're going to use one that's about 1mm in size. That's quite a nice, easy size to use. You'll also need round nose pliers. These are pliers with round nose jaws, wire cutters, and also scissors for cutting your elastic. To start with, what we want to do is thread a bead onto a head pin, and then using our round nose pliers, we're going to make coils. Choose a point on your round nose pliers that will make the size coil you want to use. You can actually use a pen to mark on your pliers if you want to, or put a piece of sticky tape over on top and draw on that if you don't want to mark your pliers, and that will just help you keep to the same point every time. What we're going to do is hold just above our bead with our round nose pliers, and then pull the head pin all the way round, open around those pliers, and we want the head pin to go the other side of what you've just made so that it sits nearer the handle. What we're going to do, as we make each coil, we're going to do it so the previous coil we've made will start to move towards the point of the pliers, and we're making each new coil on the same point of the pliers, and that will mean that all of our coil that we make will stay the same size. So again, I'm just going to pull my head pin round so that they all sit nice and neatly next to each other. Put it round. You want to go around sort of 3 or 4 times. It's up to you. I'll stop there. Then all I need to do is trim it just at the end, and we're just going to trim it because that's much too long. When you're trimming, be careful to either shield what you're cutting or hold both sides so that nothing's going to fly at you, because head pins, the metal can be quite tough and springy when you cut it, so it could spring away and injure you. Trim that. What you want to do is make 100 of those. I'm going to make another one just so you can see what we're doing. So again, just thread head pin on, bring your round those pliers and hold it just above the bead. Pull your head pin around those pliers, go in the gap again. Just you want to keep those coils nice and neat next to each other. So I've done 3 coils there, but like I say, you can do 3, 4, 5. Just make sure they're nice and close together and the same size, and trim that. Once you've made 100 of those, we're going to thread them on. So all I want is a length of bead and elastic, and I'll thread them on. What you want to do is thread them all the same way. So what I'm going to do is thread them all with the cut ends of the wire on first, and this will keep your beads equal distance apart. Obviously I haven't made 100 because you'd be sitting watching me for hours, but it's exactly the same principle all the way along. So threaded those on. Then what I'm going to do is tie a knot that is going to hold the bracelet nice and secure. And with elastic, lots of people have problems tying this knot. So there's a specific way to tie it and also to tighten it to ensure that it works. What you want to do is bring one side over the other. It's up to you which side. I'm going to bring the left side over and then up through the centre. So I'm just tying a knot at first. And then whichever side I crossed over first, I'm going to cross the other side. So I previously used what was on my left. So this time I'm going to bring over what was on my right, overlap it, and then pull it through to tie a knot. And I can actually pull it through 2 or 3 times, which just adds another level of security. Pull it all nice and tight, and the trick to this knot is in the tightening of it. What you want to do, if I'm going to tighten this knot by just pulling here, all I'm doing is stretching the elastic. What I actually want to do is hold my work right down close to the knot, hold in all 4 pieces of elastic, so there's the 2 sort of strand sides that the bracelet's on and the 2 long ends. Hold all of that and pull it tight. And really get in there and pull it tight, sort of using your nails and everything to hold it tight. So again, what I'm actually doing is tightening the knot rather than just stretching the elastic. So I'm going to do that until my knot holds nice and tightly and bites into itself. To test it, you just want to pull on your bracelet, make sure that the knot doesn't slide, which it isn't for me, it's nice and tight. Then what I would do, you can leave, if the knot is held, it's fine. But what you can do is put a drop of super glue onto there, which will actually melt the elastic slightly so it will all bond together. Once that's dry, trim your elastic nice and close, not too close that it could come undone, but nice and close. And what you'll find is when you've got fully threaded on bracelet, that your beads and everything will cover your knot and it'll be nice and secure. Like I said, this project, lots of variation in it. On this, Sue has used pink and green beads, which are great. They're complementary colours, so they work nicely together. If you want to use other complementary schemes, you could use yellow and violet, or blue and orange, or you can use colours that go together, so different shades of pinks or lilacs or blues and silvers. It really is up to you. You can vary the size of the beads, the shapes of the beads you use, maybe put in some cubes, some check faceted beads, something like that. Just add a different look and you can make the same bracelet again and again. I hope you've enjoyed Sue's project and make your own Coiled Delight.